Alright, our low budget mage deck only costs 1520 Arcane Dust to make. That does not include the common cards, and it's a perfect deck for getting you through to at least rank 10. Look, this deck is extremely aggressive and you should have no problem putting any opponent under immense pressure in the early to mid game, while powerful finishes will help you win games even if the board gets out of control later on. Your starting hand will define your early game, and you should always attempt to mulligan away any mid to late game cards. The early game is extremely important when playing an aggressive mage, and your choices during this stage of the match will have a major impact on your late game. Your minions should put as much pressure on your opponent as possible, and you should engage in minion trading only if you are given the opportunity to create card advantage. You should not attempt to save your spells for later stages of the match, but rather use them as minion removal to clear the path for your minions. Once you pass the early to mid game, you should consider saving your damage spells so you can use them to finish your opponent off. Alright, always love to see a mana worm in the opening hand. We'll throw that back. Oh, we got it back again. Oh well, let's see how we go. Always love to smash face with the mage deck. It's so much fun. Obviously I'm going to lead into Frostbolt, pumping the mana worm.
Do you need a blessing?
That seems like a good enough target. And yes, I could have used my mage power to kill it, but I want the pumps on the mana worm. Because this turn I'm going to play my ice block and swing in for 3. So we've only had 2 attack phases and we've done 7 damage. For a mage, that's pretty good. Alright, very powerful start there. So I'm going to drop a few creatures here, force my opponent to have to deal with my board rather than swing at my face.
Put this apple on your head. I hope you like my invention.
Hopefully that will distract him from attacking the mana worm. Yeah, a bit sad to lose the knife juggler. Let's roll the dice, see what happens. So here's the first critical decision that I need to make. Do I lose the mana worm? I really do need to get rid of that taunt creature, but how do I do it? That's the question. Yes, I could freeze it, but I can't attack because I still lose my creature. So
What to do?
I think I'll swing in with my mana worm and finish the taunt creature off with my mage power. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the game plays out, because that was a very critical point.
For Nazata. Mind if I roll need? Oh, if you're sure.
And you can see we've just set up the same scenario again. He has to deal with my side of the board, therefore I'm forcing my opponent to play the way I want them to play.
Truth is my shield.
That could be a bit of an issue. And I guess we'll have to use a fireball here. A lot of people would argue, no, use the flame strike.
If you're sure. Hey, give me that.
But I want to smash face as much as possible. Yeah, I could have flame striked and sacrificed 2 of my creatures, drawn a card, blah blah blah, but I just think it's better to smash face. We get him down lower in life and we force him to play more desperately.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
So there's 2 plays here. We could flame strike or we could frost nova.
If you're sure. Hey, give me that.
So that's another critical point. I've managed to clear the board, leaving 1 resource on my side. Yes, I could have used Frost Nova and possibly capitalised, because I'm guessing he's going to drop a couple of creatures this turn. And you know what? Maybe that would be a better play. But in this case, I chose to go with the Flame Strike, so that I could put more damage to his face.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Okay, so let's lead out with Leponome and roll the dice. Beautiful. So now we can do 3 points to our opponent.
Hey, give me that.
So many possibilities.
With the right spells, he could really clean me up right now. But I'm guessing he hasn't got them because he's taken so long to play a spell. Always happy to draw a card. Should probably buff the Leponome.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Some people would have argued that I should have hit my opponent's creature, but in keeping with my tactics, I just want to keep smashing his face. I'm kind of relying on Frost Nova to give me that extra turn of damage. Remember, I've taken Pyroblast out of this deck to get rid of all the legendaries.
They'll never know what hit them.
Someday I'll be just like
Okay, so let's throw out a free spell. Beautiful. Couldn't have asked for anything better. And believe it or not, that was another critical play. Well, with no life gain, we win. And that's how we beat a Warlock.